just answering questions to someone who asks just a simple set of questions that aren't so simple answers. And we'll just do this. This is like the 8th take, mostly from screw-ups and, bunnies running by, or in this case, something else. I wish I knew what it was that just went by. But anyway, here we go. Quasi asks the following very simple questions. This is like a match in a bucket of dynamite. Here we go. Why are you using a 144p camera in the current year? It's the current year, 2016. This is absurd. How are you such an incredible knowledge base? And that's not a typo. I'm going to cut and paste that question said, and you'll be able to read that's what he said. Do you have a salary job? How do you have enough time to put out so many videos with so many references in the description, which clearly implies that you put a lot of time into each video, excessive reading and quoting? I'm treating this as one giant question because it has kind of one big answer. First and foremost answer is, I don't know. Second, I don't know anything. The only thing I know is I know nothing. I don't know anything. Next, I'm a cognitive savant. That's what they tell you when they're evaluating you. You might want to look up what that is. You might want to see how many of us exist. Most of us are computer geeks. The other one is, do you have Asperger's syndrome, or sometimes called geek syndrome? Were computers and the internet created just so that people like me would have something to do? Next example. While standing, I'm not kidding about this. While standing in line, not communicating with anybody, at the grocery store, a little 10-year-old kid looked up at me and said, "Are you a hacker?" And a week later, a grown woman looked at me and said, "You're a hacker. How do I fix this?" And handed me the phone, and I said, "I could tell you how I could fix it." She's like, "Go ahead." So I fixed it. I don't even know how I did it. Handed it back to her. The phone worked. Quasi, seriously, I really don't know exactly, but here are the symptoms. I don't remember where I learned most of my stuff. I can go through 1,000 books, no kidding, not remember any of them until somebody asks me some obscure point. I have apparently read all of the Sherlock Holmes stories up to 1983. I have apparently read a ton of sci-fi by, I forgot his name again, but he's the one who did 1984, and then another one did Fahrenheit 451. That would be Bradbury, but I'm not sure if they did the other one. And Animal Farm and Citizen Kane, which is a movie and also a book. I read them in the wrong order. You should read the book, then watch the movie. Or I'm joking about that, by the way. I read 5 different encyclopedias because I don't know if you know this, but you can just go find encyclopedias that are older. Go out and find encyclopedias that are 5 years apart from each other by the same company, then collect them from different companies and compare and contrast them. I've studied, apparently, because I can't remember, comparative religions of the world. All of them, probably. I don't remember any of it, but I can, if somebody starts quoting something wrong, I can correct them accurately, which doesn't make any sense. Apparently I learned quantum physics someplace. I apparently learned a lot of engineering books. I know that I got that from my dad. He had a large collection of these books. He would field strip a book, take out the stuff that isn't important. So I don't know what book it was, but I know I read it, I think. Anytime anybody has something to show me that's novel or interesting, I remember it. Or more accurately, I learn it. Memorization and learning are very different things. I've either done or thought about doing and figured out how to do many, many, many things. If you see somebody building a road, and once in time in your life you didn't just sit there and try to learn how they did it by watching them, yes, that means you have to spend all day for several days watching people build stuff. While doing phone calls in one business, I sat there and watched someone build a skyscraper, and later on looked up how to do each skyscraper part. And then when the buildings came down on September 11th, I knew exactly what to call each part so I could learn faster. I know what to ask a search engine that thinks it's artificial intelligence by lying to it so I get the answers, including putting in certain escape characters and codes to get it to shut up and give me the answer. And then finally going around to my computer, I know not to trust this damn thing with high-res video because it's running Windows and I haven't finished gutting every part of it that gets in the way of it getting done. So that I can get it to shut up long enough that I can do research on the smallest number of videos I've researched at the same time is 4. I normally look up the information about 20 videos at the same time. It takes me a couple of days. I then make one video after another because I've already done the research and I've learned about it to where it's stuck in my head, which means sometimes I cross the streams and connect information between them because they do relate. Next, look up Connections with James Burke. It's a TV series that tells you how to do the same thing, or, well, I thought it was that. It was really him just demonstrating how a group of people at the BBC or whatever got together and figured out all these connections through historians and technical people, which I thought was the same thing because if you don't learn history and science, you're going to make a mistake with one or both. This is also referred to as holographic processing or a connection machine, connection machine emulation through similar. I can't pronounce the word similar. That book Neo was holding that he gutted out. It's named similar. That thing. That book is named after something. That word is used for. It's a form of holographic processing. Polydimensional holographic processing. Yes. So, and yes, I've studied that someplace. So anyway, if you're not in, where's the original question? The reason I can do this is my brain operates in that manner. I don't have a salary job, but when I have one, I usually have several other salary jobs. I used to have lots of hobbies when I was a kid, in case you can't tell. I know how to build a violin. I know how to build a Stradivarius. But I don't remember exactly how. I just learned how. Something involving dunking the water in dunking the wood in mineral water. Anyway, the reason I have so much time is it doesn't matter if I have a job or not, but I currently don't have a salary job. The reference in the description is about the fact that my brain tends to work this way anyway, and I don't remember why, but I know what to type in to get the other references so I can get them. And my brain automatically filters out the references that were worthless. Like today I looked up ghost guns and then found people who claim that you can take a pellet rifle and turn it into a rifle that runs .22 caliber, and then I coordinated that with all of the different videos I've always looked up. I knew what to type in for some reason to find them failing to do certain things, and then I'm going to be doing a video over the next few days, or maybe tonight, about what to avoid if you're going to convert a rifle under emergency conditions, which is legal apparently under the tax stamp requirement for Schedule something something weaponry. I think. Just looking that up. But anyway, that's actually how my mind works if you're curious. This is me just blathering. That's what my brain does. All of the time. When I learned about music, I tried to learn every instrument at the same time so I wouldn't get bored. I got to where I understand it, but I wasn't able to be satisfied because I'm too critical auditorially because when I was a kid, I had perfect pitch, so I couldn't stand it. I couldn't play an instrument correctly. To this day, I can't listen to someone playing Toccata and Fugue in D minor because no one will hit the notes cleanly because no one bothers making sure the blasted pipe organ they're playing with has been tuned recently for some damned reason. I guess nobody cares about pipe organs in churches anymore. So, to answer your question in a short way, after 9 minutes and 11 seconds, I didn't time it that way, but it's funny. I record in low res so the computer doesn't have the opportunity to crash as often. I have a big knowledge base because this is the way my brain works, and it gets in the way of every other damn thing in my life. Well, it used to. Now it doesn't. I really don't know if it's going to get in the way. I don't have a salary job, but when I do, I usually get paid mid-range, and I tell them don't give me raises because the more you get paid above minimum, the more likely they are to have the accountant and the statistician they hire fire you when they're downsizing. Stay the same rate. Don't let them promote you. Don't let them move you when you're not miserable. I literally mopped floors for 1 year, many years, and then after work and on the weekends, I'm a hacker, and I got paid 10 times what my normal salary would be. Never quit your day job. That's a vaudeville rule. Do you know the word geek refers to the guy who ripped the chickens' heads off? Did you know he was also the cook that fed you them later? Did you know hacker is related to the fine art of making beautiful furniture with only an axe blade? Not the axe blade. Look up how to make a draw knife out of anything. Yeah, that's the video title. Why do I have all this time? It doesn't require time. I just do hundreds of things at the same time in my head. And I take every opportunity to look them up. I put a lot of time and energy in each video, but it averages out because I do upwards of a dozen of them or 2 dozen of them at the same time in research. Like today I did one on pellet guns and rifles, and I forgot what else I did. I'll look at my notes later. You had to ask. That's one of those can of worm questions I tell people about. Now we're at the 11-minute mark. Let's see if I can fit something else in here. Okay. Sorry. And yes, I wonder if we're a different species. Next. Someone says go look up this video by Dabu. Nemesis from Hell. So I will go ahead and look that up. Next. Ed Felty has struck again. Oh God. So I gotta go after him. Pancake. I've built Geiger counters. I've built gamma ray detectors. Not the same thing sometimes, by the way. Everybody who says anything about Geiger counters, unless they've built them, all of them, they're full of shit. No, I mean really, seriously, what the hell is this? It's a piece of safety. It used to be against the law to misrepresent what a Geiger counter can do. I guess it's not a law anymore. It's not for finding minerals for you to make money off of. Next, Hanover Fist. Jam Hanover says, MSN tells news and half-truths. Alternative news does half-lies. I love you. People wonder why alternative news and MSN, by the way, I should say this, aren't taken really seriously or trusted. They can tell you about the plane crash with a gleam in their eye. It's pretty sad when the alternative news sites, Dabu, again, Dabu, use RT News as God, yes, that's just, yes, just keep using the Kremlin. Next, William O'Rourke sent me a link to a video that makes my happy gleam. Yes, the guy who has a baby squirrel that he raised up that he keeps on his shoulder like a big fluffy parrot. Thank you. Tom Spinampa. I'm going to find a way to pronounce it. Yeah. I know you're just fine. I was just thinking out loud. No, you nailed it. You seriously nailed it. It was funny as hell. In case you can't figure out from the entire video. Mike Martins. Okay, thanks. I got some info from an alleyway, from Alex Jones. Sorry, I gotta compare it to getting sex education from the creep up the street. Anyway, it was making it seem like it was the end of the internet. Except, yeah, that's how he gets views. And I'd like to remind everybody, again, it isn't just Alex Jones. Oh, no, no, no. It's your representative in the legislature and Congress and stuff doing the same thing. It's all the same thing. They all freak out. Take a look at the first video I recently posted. It talks about what you were just mentioning. Half second of your turn. Yes. Yes, I will. Thank you, Mike Martins. I'm running into people who are posting, and I've encouraged some people to do so. Dinner with Waptek must be tough. Yes. Welcome to Dessert with Waptek. Thank you.